Hello, this is my Chapter 11 assignment for BUS153, where we had to look up a strike that has happened either recently or in history, find out some of the details about it and some of the resulting factors. I actually chose a very, very recent one that actually ended as of yesterday or the day before. My news sources were kind of conflicted. That would be the big GM strike that has been going on for about 40 days now. The reason I chose this because one, it's current events. It's kind of important even to today's standard. But it's also because being that I'm in the automotive industry, being that I work for Toyota, when we had used cars come through our dealership and stuff like that, we couldn't get parts for GMs for used cars. So we got multiple used cars that are sitting on our lot right now that we can't even put on our lot because we can't get the parts needed to do the little fixes up of these cars and whatnot. But I also chose it for another reason, being that I'm a rather large car enthusiast, and I'm very excited about the new C8 Corvette that's coming out next year. It's a 2020 model, and it's supposed to be hitting showrooms in January. But because of this big strike that's been going on with many GM employees, I believe they said a total of 40 factories have been closed for business until the strike was over, which they just started returning to work yesterday. Basically, the production stopped. So now customers who were getting your cars in January, they might now have to push back till February. They're hoping that this doesn't happen, but this has caused a lot of issues. Some of the things that I was reading is the strike ended because of a deal that GM and the UAW Labor Association finally met terms on I believe it was a 3-year contract that they're going to work with. And basically it just updates certain elements about the labor contracts that were already existed. Mostly just talking about like hours they're allowed to work, pay rates, and stuff like that. Basic information. There wasn't a real lot of information on the exact details of what was discussed or what was agreed upon. But from the articles that I read, it was basically the same thing that they discuss pretty much every year. They just needed to update it, and they couldn't meet terms on it, I guess, or whatever. So with that being said, the strike is now over, and everybody's returning to work. Production will continue at this point, but the fallout from the situation is it has costed GM over $3 billion, according to some sources, and some sources are even saying $4 billion between Q3 and Q4. GM had just released numbers saying that they are projected to have a record-setting quarter for Q3, but now, given that this strike has been going on for 40 days, that's pretty much tanked. So it definitely cost GM a lot of money, and they were excited, to say the least, to finally meet agreements with the UAW and have their employees return to work. Especially because the Corvette is a big deal for them right now, since it is the new model, and they really want to get this out and have it be successful to generate revenue for the company as a full. Because again, the Corvette is kind of the flagship of Chevrolet, and even if people aren't necessarily going to be in the dealership to buy that exact car, they're willing to come to the dealership, and they might end up buying another car or trading up or something like that. So definitely something that they wanted to be on track, and this strike has caused a lot of issues with that. So yeah, excited to hear your questions, your comments. Let me know what you got. Thank you. Have a great day.